Hello, this is William Steinbrink. This is video number 3 of my capstone project class. This is going over the deployment, additional features, the app demonstration, and the ending reflection. For the deployment, I opted to use Heroku as I was familiar with it and I found it easy and streamlined to use. I did not use Docker, but given more time I would have really liked to. My main challenge with Heroku was how to bring in my env variables, my .env variables that I had used in the project when I was developing it into Heroku, but a little Googling and browsing the docs, and this was actually very straightforward once I found out that their feature existed, to settings, config vars, reveal config vars. You could add everything there. So that made it much easier once I learned that existed. Additional features, unfortunately I was not able to implement any. I had most of the functionality developed for a transfer function to transfer funds between users, and also a transaction history that recorded all withdrawals, deposits, transfers, any action taken by the user. But again, about half of that functionality is finished, and I was up against time constraints. So unfortunately, that was not brought in. The application demonstration. So I've brought up our app here. I was logged in and testing something. So here we are at the home page. We're brought here. I tried to keep the UI clean, very simple for this. I recently was exposed to React icons, so I used those heavily. I really liked those. So we'll go to create account. Will be test dummy at test.com, password secret. And I did add verification. So, if your passwords do not match, we used React Toastify for that, which I also thought was pretty fun. We are now brought into the user home page. We are currently logged in up here as test dummy. You can see it pulls the name, has the name here. It also has the user's balance. And this is one thing I did not get to implement. The balance does not update. So if we go look at Mongo Compass here, we'll refresh this. We can see test dummy with a balance of 0. We'll deposit $150. Deposit was fulfilled. Fortunately, the balance is 0 there, but if we look at our database, go back at 0. Restarting the app for one reason or another, test dummy now has the balance of $150. We will withdraw $100. Refresh the database, and we see we're back at $50 here for test dummy. But unfortunately, this does not persist unless you log out and log back in, and then it updates, then it pulls. But it does not update as the state change. The state is static there. But those were the functionalities that I was able to implement. We log out. We can also log into another user there to see their balance, and again withdraw as needed. As for the reflection, my biggest issue was simply time management. I opted to use Redux, as I was fascinated with that and was trying to learn to use React Redux, which seems very powerful. And again, I really enjoyed learning about it and using it, but my proficiency, everything took much longer than it needed to, and by the time I realized that I probably should have just gone with what I knew and done it that way, I did not have time to kind of scrap everything and begin all over again. So if I could go back and do something different, I either would try to desperately give myself more time to learn Redux, or not use not used it at all. Additional features that I would like to build, I really wanted to put in the transfer funds account, have different checking savings accounts, and also the transaction history. Those were the top three, and I developed, I have code developed for part of it, but I was not able to finish any of those. So those are primarily what I would change.